This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some major updates to share with you. Inflation is huge, and there was just a big announcement from the government saying that more pain is coming. Is this pain going to make things better? Is it going to make it worse? I'll play a video clip from the Fed chairman of what's going to happen in the future for Americans. $1,000 checks going out to certain Americans and $750 checks going out to Americans in one state. And there is a deadline in 3 days for that check, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. And today is Bella's birthday. So if you want, wish Bella a happy birthday. I'll relay those birthday wishes to Bella. So also, if you want to go check out her YouTube channel, I have a link to her channel down in the description below. Little plug for my daughter Bella. She is turning 9 today, which is crazy. And we took a little trip. We're actually in Florida right now. We're visiting some family, and we're all getting together for Bella's birthday. So really excited about that. They're actually out to breakfast right now, and I wanted to film you a quick update of what's going on, so you have to know what's going on in the economy. Got a big update coming out, but let's get into it. So inflation is hitting poor the hardest. I think everyone knows that. Anyone who's poor in inflation economy, everything was bad before, but it makes things worse. And Jerome Powell comes out with a huge announcement. So Powell warns some pain ahead as the Fed fights to bring down inflation. So Fed Chairman Jerome Powell pledged that the central bank will use our tools forcefully to attack inflation that is still running near highest level in more than 40 years. In his annual Jackson Hole, Wyoming policy speech, Powell added that higher interest rates will likely persist for some time. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy, and the remarks come amid signs that inflation may have peaked but is not slowing any marked signs of decline. Powell said the Fed will not be swayed by a month or two of data. So inflation high, could be going down, but when it goes down, it's going to be really slow. And we've heard a lot of economists say that as well. Take a look at what Jerome Powell has to say and how this is going to affect all Americans and the globe as well.
The Federal Open Market Committee's overarching focus right now is to bring inflation back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve and serves as the bedrock of our economy. Without price stability, the economy does not work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. The burdens of high inflation fall heaviest on those who are least able to bear them. Restoring price stability will take some time and requires using our tools forcefully to bring demand and supply into better balance. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth. Moreover, there will very likely be some softening of labor market conditions. While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation. But a failure to restore price stability would mean far greater pain. The U.S. economy is clearly slowing from the historically high growth rates of 2021, which reflected the reopening of the economy following the pandemic recession. While the latest economic data have been mixed, in my view, our economy continues to show strong underlying momentum. The labor market is particularly strong, but it is clearly out of balance, with demand for workers substantially exceeding the supply of available workers. Inflation is running well above 2%, and high inflation has continued to spread through the economy. While the lower inflation readings for July are certainly welcome, a single month's improvement falls far short of what the committee will need to see before we are confident that inflation is moving down. So, we are moving our policy stance purposefully to a level that will be sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2%. At our most recent meeting in July, the FOMC raised the target range for the federal funds rate to 2.25% to 2.5%, which is in the Summary of Economic Projections range of estimates of where the federal funds rate is projected to settle in the longer run. In current circumstances, with inflation running far above 2% and the labor market extremely tight, estimates of longer run neutral are not a place to pause or stop. July's increase in the target range was the second 75 basis point increase in as many meetings, and I said then that another unusually large increase could be appropriate at our next meeting. We are now about halfway through the intermeeting period. Our decision at the September meeting will depend on the totality of the incoming data and the evolving outlook. At some point, as the stance of monetary policy tightens further, it likely will become appropriate to slow the pace of increases. Restoring price stability will likely require maintaining a restrictive policy stance for some time. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. Committee participants' most recent individual projections from the June SEP showed the median federal funds rate running slightly below 4% through the end of 2023. Participants will update their projections at the September meeting. Our monetary policy deliberations and decisions build on what we've learned about inflation dynamics, both from the high and volatile inflation of the 1970s and 1980s, and from the low and stable inflation of the last quarter century. And in particular, we're drawing on three important lessons that I'll highlight. The first lesson is that central banks can and should take responsibility for delivering low and stable inflation. It may seem strange now that central bankers and others once needed convincing on these two fronts. But as former Chairman Ben Bernanke has shown, both propositions were widely questioned during the great inflation period. Today, we regard these questions as settled. Our responsibility to deliver price stability is unconditional. It is true that the current high inflation is a global phenomenon, and that many economies around the world face inflation as high or higher than seen here in the United States. It's also true, in my view, that the current high inflation in the United States is the product of strong demand and constrained supply, and that the Fed's tools work principally on aggregate demand. None of this diminishes the Federal Reserve's responsibility to carry out our assigned task of achieving price stability.
So after giving that speech, Jerome Powell did, basically the stock market tanked, and it's looked at as, not really bad news, but maybe bad news in the short term. As he said, short-term pain, but this is supposedly going to help out the economy in the long term. So I'll keep you updated on that. When it comes to stimulus checks going out, $1,000 stimulus checks are on the way in New Jersey. So in New Jersey, caregivers in Camden County, New Jersey should expect stimulus checks worth $1,000 courtesy of a program designed to help people who experiencing wage disruptions as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. Recipients must apply for the stimulus and, if successful, will receive payments to assist with the rising cost of food, gas, and consumer goods. So Camden County, New Jersey for healthcare workers. And then another state, not sure if I ever mentioned this one before, direct payment of $750 to be sent to Americans, but eligible families have just 3 days to file paperwork. So this is going on in Rhode Island, and the governor said families will be able to receive the cash top up in child tax rebate. So child tax credit or child tax rebate going on in Rhode Island, $250 per qualifying kid with a maximum of 3 kids, which comes out to $750. And that's going on in Rhode Island, and it gives the qualifications and so basically, those are all the qualifications. And then you have to apply by August 31st, which is in just 3 days. And you should expect your rebate will be sent to your mailing address. And it doesn't say when you would get it. But the deadline is August 31st for that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I just want to tell you that you should always stay happy, no matter what. Even if something really happened in your life, you should always stay positive and happy and just move on. And you should always you should always be nice to others so others don't be like, you should always treat others nice because like you have to treat others nice for other people to treat you nice sometimes. Sometimes that happens. But it's really good to be nice to everybody. So, like, it should be really good for all of us to be nice to everybody. That's the end of my tip of the day. Bye!
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. After this video, gonna go have some fun with Bella. We're probably gonna go to the pool, do some swimming. She wanted pancakes for breakfast, so we got her pancakes, and whatever other food she wants, we're just gonna give her for the rest of the day, and meeting up with some other family members as well later on. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you wanna check out if you wanna check out Bella's video from her YouTube channel, click this link right here. It goes directly to her YouTube channel, and you can check her out there. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.